Okay. All right, Chris, I think we're already on our side. I will stop sharing and give the reins. I'd like to introduce today Chris Jurist. He is from Imbue Botanicals and is an absolute wealth of knowledge on the health and wellness benefits of CBD. I would like everyone who's in attendance today to thank you very much for taking time out on a beautiful Wednesday evening here in Ohio, at least. And I also ask one concession from you. I'd like you to make sure that if you have any preconceived notions about CBD, what you think it is, or what you believe it is, that maybe you listen into our program tonight about some education about what it really could be as far as an asset to your health. While I'll qualify it from the healthcare aspect that CBD isn't for everyone, but there's an awful lot of people who are looking for solutions that are not a prescription therapy or a medical therapy per se. And there's some fascinating science behind this. So I want you to know that all of our pharmacists are resources at the Medicine Center Pharmacy for CBD. We have been trained by Chris and his team to be able to help you deal with drug interactions and some special things that could be an issue with respect to even adding vitamins and supplements and other therapies like that to your conditions. So don't be afraid to ask questions. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Chris, and I thank you so much for joining us tonight, and I'm excited to hear your new message.
Thank you very much, Brad. It's been a long road in the CBD space, and I would say ever changing always. Questions are getting more and more in depth these days because people are learning more, and why they want to understand how these products can be beneficial for them. And as I was saying a couple minutes ago, typical discussions or seminars or webinars a few years back, it was an overall CBD education. What is CBD? Where does it come from? Is it safe for me? The drug interactions discussions, for sure. Which product should I be taking? Should it be a capsule, a tincture? Can I use the topicals and tinctures together? All of these great questions of getting kind of that overview of CBD and how it can relate to that specific person has now morphed over the last few years into a little bit more refined direction, which is basically precision care in the CBD space. And why are these products good for me? How are these products going to be beneficial? Which product should I be taking? What is going to give me the most benefit? What milligrams should I be taking? All of these different things that play into an individual person's CBD, let's call it regimen, is now connected to, like I said, that definition of precision care. The reason why I identify that as precision care is because we're all different. We all have different types of daily activities and different types of diets, and we're on different supplements and we're on different medications. And the world of not one size fits all is very much in the forefront for everybody when they talk about individual care. And not all CBD is created equal as well. So, it becomes overwhelming, and you have to start somewhere with this process. So one of the reasons why we work with, guys like you, very educated pharmacists and owners of businesses like yours, health and wellness or integrated medicine, medical professionals, is because we know that the education element is much bigger than just knowing where these products come from and how they're formulated. We know that when the consumer walks in your door, they want to understand basically, why are these products right for me? And you are able to break it down for them from a consultative approach. Consultative approach means, okay, let's sit down and create an overall program for you, Mrs. Murphy. What is your diet like? What are your daily activities like? How are you sleeping? Are you exercising weekly? And these things all play a key role, in which I'll show in my presentation tonight, of why these things are important. Then how does CBD respond to my body based on these types of things and how I can generate the most benefit by taking these products, whether it's ingestible or using them from a topical approach. So that's why we talk about precision care more so now than we did a few years back, because years back, like I said, we really needed to hammer down the overall CBD education. And it's really kind of come full circle now in where we are. But I'd love to, you know, present. I don't know if I have the ability to do that on here. I can, I guess, share my screen, right?
Yes, you should.
Okay. So I just, well, how do I share? Only the host. Let me see. Share my screen. Okay. Can you see that?
I see a white screen.
Um,
Maybe you shared one of your windows.
it says you are sharing your screen. Oh, here we go. Can you see that?
Yes, excellent.
Okay, wonderful. So before we dive into all of the products and things like that, I want to, you know, just talk about a few things that will help your overall community and customers. The industry has changed quite a bit, Brad. It's changed quite a bit from an approach to the types of products that are in the market, where people are growing their hemp, and what types of products they are putting into the market. It's changed from a cost perspective as well, which is now in favor, much more in favor of the consumer. Where years ago, raw materials for hemp and the oils and other elements that we use to create these products were very costly, have reduced in price significantly, because there are more people that are producing products like these in the market. There are more hemp farmers, and it's allowed us to change our business approach and offer better pricing to our partners, and then you in turn to your consumers. So right now, for everyone who's listening, Brad's prices have reduced in store, as well as our wholesale partners across the board, where we've been able to offer 20% reductions to Brad. So he has better pricing for the consumer, which is a really good thing in these times with the pandemic and people being very careful about what they're spending and what they actually want to spend their money on. So that's a really big thing. Also within View, we've, over the last year, we've had the ability to create new products and offer new types of ways to use CBD. We still have our core 39, 40 products that are out there, but we will be launching some more products into the market, Brad, that you are going to be able to utilize with your community. We're creating 5 new, which are going to be honey tinctures. We're partnered with a local honey company we're using raw honey in our CBD tinctures, and we're also combining supplements or organic natural supplements in these honeys that are going to be green matcha, superfood honey, elderberry, and turmeric, and then also one that will be hibiscus, ginger, and lemon. And these 5 tinctures are going to really allow us to cross over into the supplement space and start really talking about, what turmeric and CBD can do for you, or what CBD and elderberry can do for you, and all of the properties that those supplements carry, along with CBD, and then also the raw organic honey, and how beneficial that is to your overall body's immune system and overall health when it comes to allergies and other things. So those products will be into the market. We're also launching 2 new products as well that will be a CBD mouthwash and a CBD toothpaste, which is going to be incredible. We're doing that where we will be launching those products into the market in September. We've partnered with an unbelievable group that's in the dental space called Perio Protect. And we are super excited about this and getting out these types of products into the dental community, and also out to our pharmacy partners and our health and wellness and medical professionals. because not only do we know the benefits of what CBD provides from a bacterial standpoint and overall health and wellness, but what it's going to actually do for an individual's mouth health. But we've done clinical studies, and we have real data that backs and supports it. And we have focus groups and trials that we've run to support all of the evidence behind the effectiveness of doing a CBD mouthwash and toothpaste with very highly beneficial formulated products that are all organic and have real true medical benefit. So we're very super excited about that. And we have some higher level products as well that are coming to you, Brad, only to you and our pharmacy and medical professionals, that will be featured under the Imbue RX line for only, which will be available only to you, Brad. It will not be a retail on website type purchase. It will only be available through our wholesale partners with different product styles, higher milligrams, bumped CBG and CBN, which we'll get into what those cannabinoid profiles are. And we're just coming at it with a very, very medical approach to offer our partners for sure, but your community, a higher level, a higher grade product that is different from the retail space. So we're super excited about that. And now we could jump into, this presentation a little bit here. We've been working together for just over 3 years now, Brad?
Believe it or not, it is that long. It seems like it hasn't been, but it has, yeah.
Yeah, it's wild to think that 2 years ago I was in Ohio and visiting all the stores and doing the seminar where we did LDN and CBD, and then was on the radio show. It seems almost eons ago, but it was just a short time ago. But we've built a great partnership. We've developed a great relationship between you and then obviously through Imbue, but then down to your community. So we're very happy to be supporting you as a great partner in your community. And tell a little bit more about Imbue Botanicals before we dive into it, so that your community can understand why you actually carry products like Imbue, why it's important for you to be partnered up with a brand like us, and that you've done your research with all of the companies that exist in the market. But I think overall, besides the amount of products that we offer and the high quality that we are, is the transparency and integrity of the company that we represent. Imbue Botanicals, now we've been in business for over 5 years. We are an all Colorado company. We grow all of our hemp in Colorado because we want to grow in only the greatest environments where our hemp can thrive and be a very effective oil at the end of the day when we extract and process. And that really sets us apart right from the very beginning. But really what sets us apart is all of the things that make up our products, where we are 100% organic, we're non-GMO, we're gluten-free, we're vegan, we have no additives, fillers, and byproducts, and which makes us super safe for your community to take our products with their existing supplements and their existing medications, and know that taking these products, they feel safe. So with Imbue major features is where all of this information really dials in. And I'm gonna hit play here so we can show this on a slideshow type preview here. Let me just hit that here. And now you can really see all of the different things that we're talking about that set us apart. We are using a unique extraction methods and safe extraction methods, where we're not using any chemicals in our extraction process. We're using grain alcohol, actually. It's very pure and clean and natural, and has 99% to 100% residual burn off, which is excellent. We're not using CO2 extraction in our product line. We are focused on controlling the process from seed to shelf. And what that means is we're watching it from the grow all the way till it hits the shelf, where you're actually presenting it to your consumers, and providing them with the education that we provide you. But also the details and information is not hidden. There's, all of the details around the batch numbers around the product and the C of A's that which we provide you online and also on the box by scanning a QR code. And we provide probably the most extensive C of A collection in the market because we are doing over 7 different C of A's of certificates of analysis to really let the consumer know what is actually in this product, how is it tested from beginning to end. And that's really important to know the full process of what we're trying to do here. And we offer, obviously, Brad, as you know, an extensive education to our communities, seminars, webinars, and with our partners like you. And we're doing that on a weekly basis, whether we're activating a store or we're revisiting a community, so that we can continue on that education as you have me on tonight, so that you can constantly make sure that your community is safe and feels comfortable with the products that you're offering them. And then the materials and support that we provide you in store is always reassuring from a community standpoint and from a partner standpoint, that you know that we have your back from all levels, whether it's marketing or that education process. We as you know, Brad, and some of your community knows through the years, we offer an extensive line of products. I gave you a sneak peek into just about 7 of the total of about 15 new products that will be hitting the market. As I said, some bumped milligrams and some bumped CBN and CBG that will be entering into the market as well. But it's really nice for us to continue to grow our product line, but also grow the channels in which we offer products in. So right here, as you can see, these are our full spectrum tinctures, which you carry all of, and they offer different strengths of milligrams and different choices for your consumer to take these. And this is a sublingual tincture that can provide support. And we're going to do more seminars. I just want to let everybody know, Brad and I are going to do continually more seminars, because today is really to get reconnected with the community, reconnected that Brad carries these products in all 4 of his locations, and that the education and support from his staff is available to you, and give you an overview again of who Imbue Botanicals is and what we can provide. And with that being said, this will tie back into the precision care of which products are right for you, and then different channels of products that you may feel more comfortable taking to suit your needs. So like I said, these are sublingual tinctures. We are going to be adding to this lineup, Brad. We'll be doing a 750 milligram tincture, and we're going to be doing a 750 milligram CBN and CBG singular tinctures that will not be CO2 extracted. They will be a distillate, a single cannabinoid profile as a distillate, ethanol extracted, and removing that profile out, keeping within all of those terpene profiles and things that make our product special, but increasing that product line as well. These are our capsules. We have 5 milligram, 10 milligram, and 25, and we're now introducing a 50 milligram capsule, Brad, to really bump it up for a super high strength. We want to continually grow the strengths properly and for specific needs. 50 milligram being for the highest level care for anybody that is suffering for very high level ailments that can span across, pain management, autoimmune, whether you're taking it to add to your cancer treatments or what have you, even MS, rheumatoid arthritis, all the way down to even taking it for what's that one specific one that I can't think of the name. But anyways, just all of your highest level of fibromyalgia, all of your highest level concerns. But the tinctures and the capsules are choice. You have a choice of that. And then there's also different effects for both of them, which we'll get into as we get down further, of why you might want to take one versus the other. We offer also broad spectrum products, Brad, which this, where we have capsules and tinctures. where we're removing the THC profiles out of this, which allows people to feel safer that may work in specific environments where THC is not allowed. So we do offer those products as well for your community. And then we offer an assortment of full spectrum gummies. This is, like I said, just increasing our, our offering here of different types of products to take, and for different specific ailments that might be, highlighted by the customer. We go into our topicals, Brad, which you know very well. We have our lotions, we have our lip balms, we have our salves, and then we even have our premium level salves right here, which are our imbued black premium signature series salves that are just higher strength. We like to come here from a low to a medium to a high milligram style approach to get all the benefit you need from whatever topical ailment that you're approaching. Could be pain management, could be inflammation, could be even topical issues like rosacea or dermatitis or other types of issues that you might be facing topically. Try to click here. I don't know why it's not moving. And at the end, we'll do a whole, I don't know why this is not moving. We'll do a whole Q&A. I don't know why this is not moving. Then we go back into more topicals. We have beauty creams and we have eye creams. We've had these as well. The Imbue beauty cream right here, the lifted beauty cream, is a 2019 Men's Health magazine beauty face cream of the year in the CBD space, and it was the winner of the 2019 Men's Health. So we are very proud of that. And then we have an entire line of pet products that really mirror our people products, whether it's capsules, tinctures, even salves, and so on, which gives us a lot of versatility in our product lineup and really makes Imbue special that way, because we continue to expand into channels that are going to be super effective, not only for our communities and our customers, but for our wholesale partners that do carry our entire gamut of products like you, Brad. And that's why we were super excited about creating the dental products that we have coming out and how beneficial they're going to be and how natural and organic they are. And that will, like I said, there'll be more information coming to you in September on those. And then this is some important information, I think, overall, Brad, for your community to know about. Obviously, Brad, you know about these things. We talk about these types of things with our communities when we start talking about, the differences of CBD in today's market and why it's so important to understand that, because there are a lot of different CBDs out there, Brad. There are a lot of novelty brand CBDs that are out there. There are a lot of CBD companies that are telling people how much CBD may be in a product when there may be little to no CBD actually in those products. And actually, how were these products extracted and formulated, and are they safe for me? So this really breaks down a lot of that information of why Imbue extracts the way that we do, why we don't extract from a CO2 perspective, why we know that full spectrum CBD is more beneficial than an isolate CBD in a single compounded approach, and why we're also going to be using distillates rather than using an isolate from a single compounded cannabinoid profile. These details are all in here, and why we also come at the CBD space from that precision care approach. Because precision care is a lot of different things to somebody. And when you look at how CBD is taken, you can look at full spectrum CBD like it's a multivitamin. And you can look at it as doctor explaining to their patient that they need a multivitamin to boost their vitamin A, their vitamin C, their vitamin D, whatever it may be, and why CBD is important that way for our bodies. And we're going to dive into the next part of this and what our body's receptors are and why it's so important to understand what these cannabinoid profiles do and what they are. So you have doctors that want you to maybe take a multivitamin, but they also might tell you to take single vitamins as well or supplements to boost certain categories in your body. And it's very similar to the world of CBD, full spectrum CBD, and what we want to get across from an education standpoint for our consumers and our communities to know why CBD is going to be effective for them and what is the right product and approach for them. So when we jump into this, when we talk about Imbue Botanical CBD and precision care approach, we are talking about a healthy diet, making sure that you are eating the proper foods and that these foods are healthy, vitamin-packed filled foods that are going to provide you with the nutrients and supplements and vitamins and proteins that you need naturally. Getting your body in line from a health perspective, a health and wellness perspective, without CBD is super important for all of us. And we all can struggle with certain things. And then there are people that are obviously out there that are professionals at it, and they do a really good job at everyday exercise and, making sure that they walk and they run and all of those things. But it really starts here first. It starts with a healthy diet, making sure that you get up in the morning and you're eating a healthy breakfast, and then you're having a healthy lunch, and you're having a dinner that's, very well rounded with, a protein, a vegetable, a starch, however it may be. But this all plays a role in how medications, even from the pharmaceutical space, supplements from, a health and wellness space of vitamins and nutrients and things that you might be taking, and then down to the CBD space and how these cannabinoid profiles will perform with our body's receptors. We have millions and millions of receptors in our bodies, and we have different receptor groups that sit within our bodies, and different receptor groups respond to different things like supplements, like proteins, like those nutrients, and also CBD, as well as, like Brad, when we talked the last time, with LDN, with your endorphins. Everything is connected, and we want all of those systems working at the highest level to perform and give us the reaction we all are desiring. So we talk about that exercise and how important it is, whether it's, getting up in the morning and doing a full hour of exercise, or 15 minutes of exercise in the morning, or walking around the block, getting your blood going, getting your heart rate up, and being able to get your body moving is super important to your body's overall health. And that is precision care as well. This is all about precision care, and then how CBD and other supplements can be introduced into my life. Then this is super important, allowing our bodies to shut down, allowing our bodies to rest and relax, taking a moment, not only at a sleep perspective, but taking a moment to allow your brain to shut off. And whether that's during the night, you're a good sleeper, or you want to do yoga, or some other type of meditation, or a process in which you can be peaceful, take some deep breaths, and take things in and start to relax. We all need to do this better. This was the roughest year for many of us in all respects, whether it was personal, whether it was business, and whether it was overall family and what we all may have been dealing with. And stress is a killer, and we all know that. It can hurt our body's health in many different ways. We know how bad it can be for our hearts, but it can also be bad for everything that I just showed you, from eating, from sleeping, from exercise, and then having bad habits creep into our lives. These three major categories are three huge identifiers in starting the process of creating a regimen and speaking your community, Brad, speaking to you very from a very consultative approach of how you can help them, not with just, hey, this is the supplement for you, or this is the medication for you, or this is the CBD product for you. But let me help you create a full regimen of health. And that's the kind of education that we are teaching now, more so than ever. And why our business and our business model has evolved, and our channels of CBD products continue to evolve, and having choices in all of these different categories where our customers and our wholesale partners feel safe and comfortable working with a company like us. This is really where now we start to talk about, CBD and the benefits and the connection it makes with our body. As I mentioned earlier, we all have these different types of receptor groups that sit within our bodies, and the different types of medications and supplements and nutrients and products that are available out there in the market are designed to engage with receptor groups in your body. CBD is a super important one, full spectrum CBD for that matter, is a super important one in how it connects to the largest receptor group that sits within your system, which is called the ECS system, the human endocannabinoid system. This is super important because we're working with millions and millions of receptors that focus on the CB1 receptor group and the CB2 receptor group, and then other subcategory receptor groups. Why is this important? It's important because we're talking about the CB1 receptor group that is directly connected to your neurological system, your neurotransmitters that are then connected to your body's peripheral organs and the other things that make us up, and how we can then start to make that connection. That connection is called the entourage effect. And that is why Imbue Botanicals uses full spectrum products, why we make and develop full spectrum products that are formulated at the highest level, that have all of the cannabinoid profiles and all of these different terpene and nutrients that sit within our products, so that we can connect directly to this system and start to create balance within our world. This is important. Your endocannabinoid system is extremely large, and it's a part of your entire systems, and you really need to have full spectrum CBD connecting to these two major groups. THC, which we know that everybody has a stigma around THC and where it comes from. And what we need to understand as a consumer is the marijuana cannabis plant is the cousin of the hemp cannabis plant. The marijuana cannabis plant is super, super high in THC profiles. And those are the profiles, yes, that can create a psychological reaction, start to create that high or feeling of, euphoria that you may or may not like, but you also cannot be walking around high all the time when you need real medical benefit or real high level benefits, from a perspective of an ailment that you're trying to target, that you want relief in. So, but we do want that trace amount of THC in there because we want to unlock that CB1 receptor group. That trace amount of 0.3% or less of dry weight THC allows us to trigger a reaction in that group. It's super important. It's super beneficial for that consumer, for the communities that we work with, and also for our partners to understand of the benefits. CBD is the largest cannabinoid profile in the grouping, but it's also a very important one because of the power that it possesses of pulling from the CB1 and CB2 the groups. Won't create the full unlock if it's sitting by itself, but it's an important key component to creating this 3 profile unlock of these systems, and then CBN being an important key into the CB2 receptor groups. These are really important when we start to talk about unlocking and starting to create that balance in our bodies. Balance, what does that mean? It means it's different for everybody. There is not one person out there that is the same as the other. And there is not one ailment that is the same as the other to those individuals. Brad, you and I can have the same exact thing, and it could be affecting us completely different. And that is very important to understand from a pharmaceutical perspective It's very important to understand from a precision care approach, from the diet to exercise to sleep and everything else that goes along with taking care of yourself and your body. And then also, because of how we're made up with our receptor groups and how these supplements and medications and CBD products affect our bodies, our dosages might be completely different, but it might be the same ailment. That's why precision care is important with CBD, and why CBD is not one size fits all. And that's where this conversation now comes full circle, and why I've been, going through those details and information. And I know it's a lot of information, but when you follow me through it, it now makes much more sense of what I was saying earlier. These are the subcategory receptor groups that CBD is also targeting, full spectrum CBD. And what these receptor groups mean to us, and why CBD is important from a full spectrum perspective, to connect to these groups. You can see what they're associated with. And now you can see why the pie of these profiles, these main profiles, and now there's over 160, 180 different types of profiles, cannabinoid profiles, and terpenes and nutrients and things that sit within the cannabis hemp plant. But these are the big guys. And when you also look at CBD being the largest piece of the puzzle here, it's interesting because all of these guys started out as CBG. CBG is the mother that, as the plant grows, starts to then identify as these profiles. They alter and morph into specific profiles. And you can see what these profiles provide support to, where CBD could be antibacterial, inhibits cancer cell growth, promotes bone growth, reduces seizures and convulsions, reduces blood sugar levels, and the list goes on and on under CBD, relieves anxiety, pain, and it just continues. And what CBDA does, reduces inflammation, inhibits cancer growth cell, cancer cell growth. CBG, it aids in sleep and antibacterial. CBGA, relieving pain. And all of these profiles have specific jobs, but when they're pushed together as a pie and they work together, they're stronger together. And that's why we use full spectrum. And now going back to what I said about multivitamins and singles, that's also, Brad, why we are developing single profile products, because we want to continue that precision care approach of saying, okay, you take our multivitamin, and if your body needs a bit more CBG or CBN or even CBDA, we have another product that we're developing that's going to be just CBDA, you can take it and bump it up. Those are important things to creating a health regimen and that overall precision care approach to our health and to our CBD involvement in this process. These are important as well, Brad. These are our terpene profiles. That there are more than this that sit within, but these are the main guys. These are the 8 major terpene profiles, and they all have jobs as well. And that's another reason why we do ethanol extraction, Brad. We don't want to eliminate these in the CO2 extraction process, because CO2 extraction is very volatile. It's very stringent. It's very clean. It's clean good, but also strips away some of the beneficial things that we need. So we don't want to repopulate. We don't want to go back and add these terpene profiles back in. We want them to be there from the beginning, because when they're there from the beginning and they're natural, they're the most beneficial. They're going to be the most effective. And you can see these terpene profiles that sit within our C of A's, which is really, really important. Sorry, go back for just one second. So if you look and see terpene profiles, for the person that may not fully understand what terpenes are, terpenes can bear different, types of definitions of what someone may know what they are. One, people typically think of aroma, what they smell like. Like if you rip a lemon open, smells like a lemon. Well, it is a lemon, but it smells like a lemon. It's citrusy and bright and vibrant. Oranges have that same kind of approach, or you rip a pine cone off a pine tree, whatever it may be. These terpene profiles have aroma profiles, but then those terpene profiles, like in any botanical or fruit that we are accustomed to, they bear health benefits. They also bear antioxidants and antibacterials, and They fight certain, even antifungal. They fight certain things within our environments and our bodies. That's why they're important. We have so many different types of bacterias that sit within our systems, so many different types of funguses that are around us in our daily lives and could be in our bodies that we're unaware of. When you take a full spectrum CBD, these profiles right here are helping your body battle them and bring balance to what you want as far as bacterias in your body naturally versus what you don't want in there. This can provide support, and it provides also immune support. So these are really important things to understand. So when you take a look, Brad, at the world of CBD and how many different companies are out there, and what people are focused on, they shouldn't, number one, they shouldn't be focused on price. And the companies that were doing it super good for so long, the cost of producing these products were high, and we were involved in that. We were higher. We weren't the highest, but we were high. But now, the market has changed so much. We're able to still provide the highest quality prices at even lower pricing than what we normally did. But when you see low prices, Brad, on certain products, beware. Beware right away. Beware right away because of what the CBD is. Beware right away because of what they're using as delivery agent, and beware right away from where you're buying it. Buying it from the gas station in the convenience store is not ideal. We want our world of CBD users to go to you, to go to our partners that work in the pharmacy space, the compounding pharmacy space, the medical professional space, even the veterinarians, working with veterinarians. We want them to go to them for advice on these products, to go for advice on healthcare and regimen, because the guy that's selling it at the gas station, I guarantee you, he's not going to tell you all of these details. He's not going to tell you about the terpenes. He's not going to tell you about where the product was grown. He's not going to tell you these things. And if he tells you it, I would really just kind of take it for what they would call a grain of salt or something, because you're probably not going to get the information that you really want to rely on. Going into the support for you, Brad, when your community and your consumers come into you, the education that sits within our products, for the dosing charts or the product reference charts that we create, is so that you have the ability to relay the dosing, the indications, purpose for using, the amount of milligrams that they should be taking, and the style of product. We give you those types of tools, from dosing charts down to educational guides and booklets, so that a conversation that can happen at the highest level, and that all of your pharmacists and your pharmacist assistants and your front end people are knowledgeable and educated and have been trained on Imbue and CBD, and then also have a point of reference to go back to it. It's super important for your community to know that they're getting proper information, and this information and these charts are visible to them. That helps your discussions 100%. We also provide, brochures, takeaway brochures, for you to hand out, to make things simpler and easy, so that a discussion like tonight, or that you had in one day with somebody, doesn't seem so overwhelming, and they can go back home and digest it and read a little bit more on their own, and then come away feeling a little bit more safe and comfortable that, the details and information that you've provided them, they are okay with. And they're going to come in with more and more questions for you. Obviously, signages and things like that, and posters and, literature cards for them to take home with them, as you know. But, all of these details are 100% available to your community, and we urge them, obviously, to come into your locations and sit down with you and talk about the products, talk about education on what CBD is, and consultative approach to their overall health and wellness, by that precision care, and getting them on the right track, and starting with something like this right here with your healthy diet. And
Excellent,
obviously
Chris.
opening it up for questions and stuff with us, Brad.
Yeah, I think we should. I wanted to kind of, by all means, if you're able to, there's a Q&A section on the Zoom dashboard here. You
Yep.
can type any question you want into there, and we'd be happy to address them. If if you prefer a one-on-one consultation, by all means, you're certainly welcome to stop in at the medicine center or give us a call on the phone, and we'd be happy to help you. But by all means, this particular time when we've got Chris, an expert, we can share our experiences. And one of the things that Chris ticked through is how, at least in the experience I've had with patients, has been very interesting. I've seen a number of patients who've had different conditions, and we can't stand here and guarantee that any one particular CBD doser product is going to be the perfect match for someone's fibromyalgia or chronic arthritis. But what I'm finding is patients that have tried a number of things. They've tried a number of drugs. They've tried a number of therapies. They're already eating healthily. They're getting some exercise to the best of their ability. They're looking for that extra edge that might help overcome what's missing in their quality of life. And the great thing about the flexibility of CBD is it comes in so many applications and dosage forms. And one of the things that I think has been really interesting for me is especially patients that have some type of arthritis or joint pain. There's patients that have pain and they've heard about CBD, they don't really understand what it's about, and they wonder if it might be right for them. So one of the most common questions we get in the pharmacy is, okay, I have a lot of joint pain in my knees. Can this help me? And one of the things that's been really rewarding is that we can, in the beginning, we can offer them one of the salves, and we can give them some instruction on maybe how to apply that on a daily basis. And they can kind of test drive the waters to see if it's something that they get a response from. And I think Chris can probably speak to this better than I can, but with working with some of my other colleagues, if you've tried CBD in the past, there's a couple reasons why it may not have worked for you. One is you didn't have the right product. One is you didn't have the right dose. And one is you may just not have been able to hit that combination which works with your particular situation. And what I mean by that is Chris mentioned earlier that if we both had chronic neck pain, okay, the same dose of the same capsule product might not work for both of us. And that could be maybe Chris's job. He's got 3 times as much stress as I do. Maybe his diet isn't what mine is. Maybe he can't sleep at night. Maybe I can. So it doesn't sound like a big deal, but diet, stress, and sleep almost matter more in your diet and lifestyle than sometimes your medical therapies or your medications or your supplements.
Agreed.
Supplements like vitamins and CBD, they can be a great adjunct to help you get to where you need to be, but you need to watch your diet. You need to help manage your stress, and you really, really need a good night's sleep. You can't cheat on those things because you can only cheat so long before things come crashing down.
No, I think you're right on, spot on. I think the thing here is sooner or later, Brad, the Band-Aid falls off, right?
Yeah.
You
burn
can't,
out.
yeah, you can't continually mask and alter by taking medications, but not pay attention to the self. Like, it starts with us, right? One of the things that we always tell our kids in the morning is you get up in the morning, make your bed and brush your teeth, right? Start your day with an accomplishment. Get your day going. It means something. It means something to get up and have things feel like, hey, you know what? I started my day and I feel good about getting up brushing my teeth, taking a shower, making my bed, whatever it is that you have to do to start your day. And it works the same way with our diets and the rest of our life. Work hard at everything. And I don't mean work hard at just work hard at yourself. Yourself is super important. If you're not around to do the work, then what's it for? What's if you're not around to enjoy what you've built, or the success that you're trying to build, or the family that you're trying to build, what's it all for? You have to continually work at it, and we all do. And it comes easier to some than others, for sure. But diet is so important to start your day right or end your day right. The stress is just incredible. And I think probably all of us, whether whoever's listening in or watches this video, on Facebook, can honestly take a look at themselves and say, I've had one of the most interesting, rough years of my life, whether, like I said, it was personally, work, financially, health, family members, whatever. And that stress can beat you down. And if you don't take time for yourself to breathe and exercise and take a moment to digest what is going on, your brain won't be better off to process and make the next step or take the next proper step. Those are important. And then the sleep, Brad, I mean, if you don't shut down and and let your body kind of regenerate, and that's when your endorphins kick on, and your receptors there kick on, and other receptor groups find the ability to start working with whatever supplements or what other things that are going in your body, because your body's now calm. It's not fighting each other. And to your point, Brad, about taking certain products for certain things, and you have to be committed, right? And this goes into still what we're talking about, committing to CBD, or committing to your medication, or your diet, or whatever. Committing is where the best benefit comes from, the best results. CBD works that way. You have to take it every day. You can't take it as needed. It's not like aspirin. You want to take it every day. You're going to generate the best results, because over time your body continually builds up and gets more and more used to it and comfortable with it, and continually balances out your receptor groups, so it allows your body to run at the most optimal level. Those are also important things. And then, just as a generality for the person that's thinking about taking CBD, getting over the stigma of, I am taking, am I taking cannabis? Am I going to get high? Am I going to feel weird? You're not going to feel weird. You're not going to take something and then all of a sudden feel, a psychoactive effect, or euphoric, and you can't drive, or you're high, or whatever. You're completely 100% safe. And knowing that you are not going to have that reaction is important to get over the stigma, to say to myself, you know what, I can go over the chasm and try these products out and see how beneficial this can be for me.
Yeah, and so I have a couple questions here for you that maybe you can touch on, and then I can give my feedback.
Sure.
So a question that came in is someone has difficulty falling asleep. Can CBD possibly be a solution to help me fall asleep?
The answer, in short, is 100%. The longer answer is going back to what I just said about making sure you take it every single day and letting your body fully connect. Part of why somebody has different levels of pain, or different levels of inflammation, or different levels of sleep, you may take a little bit longer to get that back in line. So my response to that is yes. And my response to it is also stick with it. Don't give up. So if you do make the commitment to take CBD in the hopes of getting better sleep, or helping your pain or your inflammation, or what have you, please stick with it and work with people like Brad and his staff to find the sweet spot, to find the dosage and the milligram and the product that works for you. And also can be used in conjunction, products in conjunction with each other, lotions or topicals, the salves with ingestibles, to generate a bigger response. Our bodies, Brad, are 80% inflammation, whether it's something autoimmune or pain management, or you're having some issue with internal issues, whether it be, diverticulitis or colitis, or, you're having ulcers, or whatever it may be. Inflammation is 80% of our problems. CBD and full spectrum CBD is a tremendous support to inflammation. So I will say, if you're taking a quality product and you stick to it, it will work, like Imbues.
Yeah, and I would say to follow up on the sleep, I think one of the best ways to test sleep, the biggest uses we see in the pharmacy, the top three easily are people who are under a lot of stress, people who are looking to get a better night's sleep, and patients that have some type of joint or topical pain of some type. And interestingly enough, for those three things, it kind of talks about possibly three different ways that you could approach it. So if you come into the pharmacy and you say, you know what, I just can't turn my brain off at night. I can't seem to just put my head down and get a good night's sleep. The tinctures are a great solution for that because they come in a liquid form. You can titrate the dose, which means you can start small and you can increase it gradually until you hit that sweet spot. And it's kind of goes back to, I don't know if anybody's ever heard the analogy with an antihistamine, but I'd like to give an example, even though it's not the same type of supplement. An antihistamine is a medication that's usually used for itchy, watery eyes or allergic reactions or sinus drainage. Think of things that you see on TV all the time: Benadryl, Claritin, Zyrtec, Allegra, okay? One thing that's really frustrating for patients is not every patient's body chemistry responds to the same antihistamine.
Correct.
So I don't know what Chris's is, but I can take Claritin all day long, and nothing against Claritin. It does not work for me. My sweet spot is Allegra. I don't know why, but Claritin does not work. So if I got, yeah, okay, so the CBD is kind of the same way, only in the sense that maybe if you start with dose A, you might have to adjust that dose 2 or 3 or 4 times before you get that response. And I think that's something to be aware of, because don't be afraid to ask questions. We get questions in the pharmacy. It's fun and challenging to help patients who are looking for solutions, who are frustrated because they've not gotten the solution from their provider, not because their provider doesn't want them to be well, but maybe it's just, maybe their particular situation has just been so unique that a traditional therapy just hasn't done the job for them. So a lot of times the CBD therapy can be very complementary to your current prescription therapy. So I do want to stress the fact that you can be using prescription medications and CBD at the same time. But it's very important you talk to the pharmacist. There are some chances that there could be some incompatibilities.
Yeah.
And it's important we ask those questions. And it's probably beyond our scope tonight, given we're running, about toward the end here. But it's the best way I can answer that question is to talk to one of our pharmacists, because your medication list is probably different from mine, which is probably different from Chris's. So it's a very unique situation.
Yeah. I will say to add to that, Brad, because you bring up a really, really good point. What we tell people is, if they're concerned or if there could be some incompatibility, and incompatibility not with interactions, but with a medicine that has been a receptor block, right?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about crossover receptors, right? Prescription medications, the way that they're designed, right? They're designed to block certain receptor groups to find the specific receptor group to actually work. Where CBD, full spectrum CBD, is all receptors firing, right? So what we tell people is, because when somebody is like, let's say opioids, right? We don't, if somebody wants to get the benefit from opioids, the full benefit from taking an opioid, we say take the opioid when you need to, and then take CBD on the opposite. Don't take them together, because the CBD will block the opioid receptor. So unless you're trying to get off of opioids and you're taking it to gradually get off, that's when you would be taking them in similar timeframes, because you're blocking the opioid receptor and the CBD starting to help and provide support and take over. But if you really need the opioid to relieve the pain, you don't want to take the CBD and the opioid at the same time. So we tell people like this with all medications. Number one, for sure, consult with their doctor or consult with their pharmacist, but we say take at different times. So if you take all your medications in the morning, take CBD, whether it be in the afternoon or later in the day, just so that you don't have the receptor overlap happening. So we've seen great results that way. And we also tell people CBD also can perform really well with taking it with something in your stomach. Don't take it on an empty stomach. It will allow for the CBD's natural nutrients and ingredients and flavonoids and things like that that are sitting within that full spectrum product to actually react properly with the food and then give you the benefit that you want. So the other thing here to leave with before we get off is CBD has a different type of effective rate, right, than THC. It's in your body for 24 to 48 hours. And when you take CBD, it's got different levels of effectiveness rates depending on the type of product that you're taking. So if you smoke it, it's the quickest reaction, the shortest lasting. If you take a tincture of CBD, it reacts super quick within the 15-minute range and getting into your body, and it'll last a little bit longer than smoking it. A gummy is going to last a little longer than a tincture, and a capsule is going to give you the longest effectiveness rate, and why we've seen capsules perform at the highest level for all chronic issues. So there are different levels in understanding what you're trying to achieve with taking CBD, whether you're going after something that's onset or you're going after something that is persistent every day, all day type of issues. And that is really important to do a consultation with Brad and his team, because that allows them to digest and understand what you're facing and how long you face it and how often you're facing it. So that really helps you, Brad, in your discussions as well.
Very good. All right. Well, that's all our questions that we had come in tonight. I really appreciate everyone attending, and Chris, your time and patience in sharing your message with us. It's fascinating, all the science that's out there. And sometimes I think that it just takes that extra conversation to kind of sort through a person's situation before we can help make sure that we can address their needs appropriately. And that's one of the reasons we're here. And we're looking forward to being a healthcare solution for you and tapping into solutions like Imbue Botanicals offers. So don't be afraid to stop in at the pharmacy and ask us questions, give us a call. You know, we are extending a 20% discount on all of the products from Imbue Botanicals. And we'll be looking forward to having additional educational opportunities. So don't be afraid to post up in our feed if you have other things you want to know about. Maybe next time when we get together, we can maybe dive into a topic that might be a little bit more specific.
Well, I think this was great, Brad. It's a great start again, because we left off a while ago. You know, I think it was the beginning of the pandemic. I'd like to do these with you, monthly if we can, pick a day. And even if it's because the next real conversation, Brad, is I wanted to continue down the path, because next time we could talk about an ailment, a specific thing, and how to target it and the best way to approach it. And then we can continue that. So, 1 week it's autoimmune, the next week it's pain management, the next week it's this. And I think that allows you to then get that message out to the community, because now people with specific issues will jump on for those specific concerns. And if you remember when we had our seminar out in Ohio, there were a lot of people that were discussing with us. They had specific questions regarding specific ailments. And I think that made them more comfortable to understand that there is support and there is a product like Imbue's that can help them, that they can identify with it.
No, I totally agree, because it's one thing to read about something for a condition that you believe you're battling with, but it's a whole nother thing when the person sitting beside you has a problem and you're like, I have that problem too.
Yep.
So it's so much more real. So Chris, that sounds great. And once again, I thank you for everything, and thank you for all who attended, and we'll see you all soon at the pharmacy. And Chris, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Brad. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Thanks.